Here's your reminder, your teeth should not be as vibrant as your hair. See, this is why people just call you a man and keep it pushing. Deuces, okay?
I completely reject how non-binary people specifically have injected themselves into the trans label.
Things got really, really ugly between you and I. My heart is so broken.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
I think we can all collectively agree that Blaire White is a parasite to this community and she's a pick-me and that she needs to take some sort of accountability. Today, let's get into this very controversial ghetto video. Hi loves, welcome back to another video. My name is Alizea and I'm your favorite black transsexual. Get up into the big purr, whatever. I'm back. How are you wonderful people doing today, girl? I hope you're doing amazing. Thank you for asking about me. I want to give a special shout out to my channel members. Hey, Bookie Bears. If you want to become a channel member, girl, it's very simple. You just go into a little, community, click my little profile or whatever, girl. Get up into the stutteringness or whatever. But you do that, boom shakalaka, and you get free access to all of my early access videos. You get free access to that, story times. Hello, girl. Just become a channel member with, that little $2.99 subscription. Hello. Before we get to today's wonderful, astounding ghetto video, I want to sit over here and say, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe because you would never find another ghetto black transsexual like me. Hello, hello, hello. I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. Get up into the bed purr, whatever. Go ahead and lock in on my soul. For the ones who are wondering who is Blaire White, Blaire White is a transgender YouTuber and political commentator and influencer who was born September the 14th, 1993 in Chico, California. Oh, okay, I see her. Blaire White began her transition in her early 20s and has been very open about her transition and has been open about, her journey as a trans woman, sharing details about her gender dysphoria and experiences as a trans woman. And she did that all online on the internet on YouTube. Bada bing, bada boom. She launched her YouTube channel in 2015 talking about, female privileges, male struggles, and hot debates and LGBTQ issues. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, she gained a lot of traction on social media for being unapologetically her, girl.
So I just sat down and I promise you that the white tank top is not symbolism for racial purity. It's very ironic that I chose to wear this for this video, but I promise you it was unintentional. Kind of stupid I have to explain that, but yeah. On with the video. And I'm sure this video for some people is just going to give them ammunition to call me a white nationalist. You know what? Everyone is kind of days, so I don't really mind it. I'm of the opinion that being white or being any particular race is not an accomplishment. Therefore, I'm not necessarily proud of it, but I'm for damn sure not ashamed of it. Culturally speaking, I think we can all agree that it seems to be really popular lately to use white people as a scapegoat and blame them for everything. People have this collective lens that they love to look through whenever dealing with race, but the truth is people are individuals. Your credibility or social standing is not contingent upon your skin color, what's dangling or not dangling between your legs, or any other immutable attribute. You are not uniquely qualified to speak on social or political issues because you're a person of color, nor do you have the privilege of telling white people to shut up and listen to you and let you have the floor because you're a person of color. You are not a better feminist because you're a person of color either. So PSA to my fellow whiteys, please stop apologizing for being white. It's cringy and embarrassing.
Years of kidnapping and torture of African people.
So now that we've kind of scratched the surface on what an insane, racist little burnt biscuit he is, let's get into my recent interaction with him, which some of you probably saw on Twitter. Basically, I am officially, for now, going off of hormones and basically detransitioning, reversing the clock in terms of all the progress I've made in my body with hormones for one reason, but it is a really, really huge reason. It's the only reason I ever would. And that reason is I want to be a parent.
No ma'am. No ma'am.
She kept uploading, the trans-related content. She kept uploading unapologetic content, where she was just saying what's on her mind and, actually breaking down some quite, evident stuff in this community. And I'm talking about the LGBTQ community. She was one of the first trans creators on that platform that was actually real and wouldn't sugarcoat it with anybody, girl.
Here's my first reason, and honestly the biggest reason why I think that children should not be able to medically transition. Being on hormones sterilizes you. A lot of people don't really seem to know that it sterilizes you, I think in part due to all the trashy tabloid headlines like every other week talking about transgender man gets pregnant, but it really does sterilize you. I've been on hormones for about a year and a half, and I am completely 100% sterile. I can never procreate. And if there's anyone out there who thinks that a child, a minor, has enough foresight and the capability of deciding for themselves to sterilize themselves for the rest of their life, I don't know, get your head checked. So that really should be the end of the video. If you think that a child should be able to decide to sterilize themselves, you're insane, but I will keep going with the rest of the reasons that I have. So another reason, hormones change your body a lot, especially if you're young. A lot of these are actually permanent changes, like these, for instance. And I'm sorry, but the reality is if that child ever decides to revert or try to go back, a lot of those things are going to be permanent. I mean, don't get me wrong, some things do revert back if you stop hormones, but some things don't. You know, we seem to be on the right track with, not letting children get tattoos and piercings, so why exactly would we let them dramatically alter their body's physiology? Which brings me to my next point, which is that there are health risks attached with going off of hormones once you're already on them. Going on hormones is supposed to set you on a one-track trajectory, and you can't really trust a child to make a decision now that they know they're going to be happy with for the rest of their lives. For some reason, trans people don't want to talk about the fact that there are a lot of people who decide to transition and then they go back because they realize it's not the right decision for them. I'm not saying that's the majority by any means, but at the same time, if there are adults who realize they were wrong, what makes you think a child will not grow up and realize they were wrong? And I say this especially because we're living in this world where transgender has become cool. In a lot of ways, I think in this culture, transgenderism has become something that is less of a medical diagnosis and more of a fad. I mean, it used to be something that you come to a revelation about through years of self-discovery and therapy, but now a lot of people seem to come to the revelation that they're trans because they saw someone on YouTube and they think it looks cool, or they saw a Tumblr post about it. So I have debated this topic a lot on the internet, and I'm actually surprised it's taken me so long to do a video about it. But here's the main argument I hear from people who think that transitioning as a child is a good thing, a positive thing. It all seems to boil down to this argument that if you allow a child to transition when they're 12, 13 years old, delay puberty, that they pass better later on in life. So what that means is that they physically resemble the sex that they want to be rather than the one that they were born as. But I'm sorry, that really just does not hold up with me. Your argument is still contingent upon the idea that this kid knows for a fact that they're trans, and that what they're experiencing, what they're feeling, means in fact that they are transgender. There's just way too much room for error, in my opinion, and I just can't go with it.
In the 2010s, you really didn't see that many trans creators pop up on your explore page and pop up on your feed. And when you did, it was basically really the sugarcoating stuff. Like, you would see the It's Bambis, the Nikki tutorials. I don't know if Nikita Dragon was out around that time, but girl, you seen like those type of T-girls or whatever, right? You didn't see the ones who would go against the norm and actually say what's on their mind and wouldn't care about any controversy that comes with what's on their mind and would just say it how it is. Just be like, hey, I don't agree with this. We shouldn't act like that. Like, people was like, oh no, Blaire, I do not stand, people was dragging her, no tea, no shade. By 2017/2018, Blaire White had built a strong following and was seen by many of her followers, and she was seen as the voice of trans conservatives and began to spark many hot topics and hot debates in the trans community for several different things.
Today, I want to talk about why people don't like trans. I've received thousands upon thousands of emails, comments, messages from people saying that before finding my channel, they had absolutely no understanding of trans people and that they were shocked to find a trans person who was actually sane.
In this lovely upload, once again amended to have a more restrained headline, she decides to discuss exactly what the public's problems are with the transgender community. Firstly, mentioning about her experiences with many people who previously weren't aware of the existence of sane transgender people until they encountered the wonders of Blaire White.
Because let's just face it, the majority of the ideas and policies and things that come out of the trans community and the activists that they prop up to speak for them in the public sphere are insane. I mean, I personally sometimes feel like I'm just drowning in this huge crowd of who are screaming and crying about 97 genders, and I'm just in the back like, I'm not one of them.
The transgender community then becomes this buzzword, and Blaire once more sets herself apart, affirming her opposition to Bill C-16, for example, the controversial Canadian one that saw the rise of Jordan Peterson. And in this, she also calls out the transgender community on other incidents, such as one where trans activists were allegedly pressuring the midwife community into using gender-neutral terminology, referencing an InfoWars article, which could have used a little research in itself, because most evidence appears to imply that there was little to no evidence of any pressure being applied at all. But okay, that's one reference. We'll put that aside for now. Her point is clear enough regardless.
But I'm sorry, like I said, acceptance is a two-way street, and behaving like insufferable children who place emotion-based arguments over fact-based arguments is not a way to get anything done.
Although that she's loved by many and she has a cult-like following, there's still half of the community who hate and despises her because she's very controversial and because, many trans people in the community disagree with her statements.
Since we're talking, Blaire White, come on to the front of the class, Chuck. I want to start this off by saying I'm late to the party. I'm new to TikTok. I'm new here. I'm a new girl in class, and I know the girls have let you boom cat and carry on shenanigans over here and on YouTube and stuff for many, many years. And so I'm sorry that I am late. But now that I'm here, I just want to say this. I don't think you're passable. I don't think you're sickening in the way that you think you are. And I think that you are very excited to lean into the rhetoric of you not being a woman and this and the third because you feel like your beauty makes you exempt. You look like the regular surged white girl. And I don't think that's sickening. I'm not fascinated by white women. I don't think that there's inherent excellence to that journey and experience. And so now that we've gotten that out of the way, I don't find you to be intelligent. I don't think any of your arguments are cogent. I think that you align yourself with men who agree with you and you piggyback off that the same way that most white women do. And in this instance, what is causing me to say something is Carmelo and what the world is doing to this young black boy right now. And at a time when trans folks are being unalived and thrown in rivers simply by existing, at a time where we are watching in the state of Texas the possibility of the trans experience becoming illegal, I need you to know that your vagina is not going to save you. That skater boy in LA, he would have punched on you the same way with 5 o'clock shadow and with a 10-inch piece. That none of the things that you have, none of the treasure you've acquired through your transition is what makes these men lean into you. It does not matter. It won't matter. And it's not going to matter when the wheel of time circles back to you. It's not. You're at a time right now where you don't even know where you could go to a gynecologist to get your new vag checked out without you being outed. If you love it so much, why don't you move up out of your very, 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 very progressive state? Move to Florida. Move to Texas. Move to Nebraska. Unhand your privilege within your transness. And I want to see you have the same sort of rhetoric. Most of your conversations happen in your house online. Go outside. Put yourself in the middle of things. And then maybe you'll understand how a young black boy who was minding his business in a space where he was allowed to be approached by 2 twins who were larger than them. Boys that I would not look at and see as teenagers. They look like college age folks. And that boy did what he had to do to protect himself. And then you would have to think about how innocent this boy has to be to even get the due process he's received thus far in this country. And for you to take your trans mouth and to espouse that ridiculousness, I don't want black cis folks doing it because they're going to be inherently transphobic. I'm not trying to be transphobic. What I said to you in here is truth. I don't think you're sickening. You look like the average white woman. The things you've acquired will not protect you. And you're no different than any other white woman by using mouthpieces of men to platform yourself. And you think that you have put yourself at the top of the hierarchy when in actuality, when it comes tied to trade, you'll be at the bottom of the deck. That's all I want to say. Happy Resurrection Day. He got up. Bitch, I want you to get up.
I consider trans women to be a category of men, not a category of women. That is my opinion as a trans woman myself. So don't you dare tell me I can't have my opinion. Lord knows if I sat up here talking about I'm a demi girl that is poly and I also identify as a bookcase, everyone will be saying, oh my God, that's valid. But God forbid I say, you know what, I'm not really the same thing as a woman. And it's like, you can't say that. Okay,
well, I agree to a certain extent. Do I believe that trans women are a category of men? No, they are biologically male, but we do transition and we most resemble that of women for the most part. And I mean, she is valid because the LGBTQ community will gaslight you into believing you can be whatever you want to be. And as soon as you don't agree with them, you're getting knocked down. You're at the bottom of the barrel. You are kicked out, ostracized, a whole bunch of nonsense. So, I mean, she's allowed to have her opinion. Do I agree with it personally? No, but do you, girl?
She often divided people, you know, because she would critique other trans people and other LGBTQ plus activists publicly. And sometimes she would dismiss them and dismiss what they say and misgender them. She used to do that a lot and she's still doing it present time. You get what I mean?
The first video released on Blaire's thoughts on trans special people is a response to a now deleted Riley Dennis video, which asserts that feminism isn't about hating men, amongst many other things. At this point, Riley was identifying as a non-binary trans woman. However, throughout the video, Blaire refers to Riley as a he for reasons that are not explicitly clarified, but one can assume are in line with those expressed in the upload prior.
I can't believe it's 2016 and we still have to talk about this.
Okay, right off the bat, he's using the current year as an argument.
In another video where she contends Riley's assertion that misgendering is violence, Blaire generally avoids referring to Riley under any pronouns whatsoever, an option she probably thought was decidedly smarter given the topic. After concluding that misgendering is not violence but still a dick move, she takes the time to express her feelings on the matter of Riley's gender.
And Riley, you seem to be really upset that people don't refer to you as she everywhere you go, but can you really blame them? Like, honestly, you call yourself a woman and a trans woman, but you actively talk about how you won't take hormones? And hormone therapy and surgery in some cases are what's actually going to give you those secondary sex characteristics that allow people to visually perceive you as a woman, even if you are biologically male.
Now, her statements on what Riley said are completely false, but we'll cross that bridge soon. We have other antics to address first. In tweets around this time, Blaire was still taking more than enough liberties on labeling Riley under male pronouns, once more reaffirming her sentiments on the transition, and practically undermining any neutrality conveyed in that YouTube video. And a couple months later, Blaire returned back to using male pronouns in her upload. In spite of this, Blaire had also still used the heralded transgender slur in titles referring to Riley's uploads, which I find surprising if she didn't actually believe Riley to be transgender, really having your cake and eating it there. I have to say that I found what was flip-flopping at best and straight-up self-contradiction at worst, and some other things as well, rather confusing. Is this what bridging the gap looks like? Well, maybe that's not what it appears. Maybe over time, Blaire worked up this theory in her head regarding Riley, and in an upload posted to YouTube on June the 18th, 2017, her theories come to the forefront of the commentary, with multiple backhanded comments about Blaire's thoughts on the verity of Riley's gender identity. What were these thoughts?
Okay, Riley, I know you're having trouble with this whole transition thing, mainly that you haven't done it. You know, if you went on estrogen, your sex drive wouldn't be so high and you wouldn't be guilt-tripping people into having sex with you. Just saying.
But if anyone calls you a white supremacist, you deny it.
If anyone accuses you of guilt-tripping lesbians into sucking your dick by saying you're trans, deny it.
And that's why a lot of people don't sit over here and take her credibility serious, because it's like there's still like a transphobic undertone when she's speaking about certain things, because she calls other trans people, oh, you're just a man because you don't look as fab, or I'm just gonna say it the black way. Like, what I get off from her content is like, she would dismiss people and say like, oh my God, you still look like a man because like, oh my God, you haven't had any surgeries, you're not on hormones. So are you really trans because you're not on hormones? And that's just another thing. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But like, I just don't understand the whole rhetoric with, oh, you're not trans if you don't take hormones, because like I keep saying time and time again, every person has started without hormones. Everybody's transition is different. And before y'all be like, oh my God, that isn't what she said. Bitch, it's like the fuck what she says, because how you gonna call somebody a fucking man when you sitting over here looking botched your damn self with your botched ass relationship? This is kind of hard because like, I want to say what I really want to say, but I don't want to get canceled because she's just a pick me ass bitch. But I don't want to sit over here and get on the internet and just call her, oh, Blaire White is just a ass bitch who's a fucking pick me, and she swears up and down that she's the baddest bitch when her fucking man is a cheating ass motherfucking hoe, you know, sitting over here getting his up by fucking other trans and shit, want to call other people bitches and men's and shit. Just see, like, I really can't be a fucking YouTuber, because when I do these deep dives and I really know, like, when I'm really analyzing a person, you're a racist bitch, and who the fuck would want to support your fucking ass? Like, I don't understand how anybody supports a racist.
Dropping the N-word with the hard R, do you think it's acceptable or not?
I really don't care. That kind of stuff I really just don't care about. Like, I don't... It depends the context in which it's used, right? Are they going on the street and like yelling at black people that they are that? Or are they using it for a comedic effect? Are they, you know, what's the context?
Let's say they just say it out of anger, but it's not necessarily at a black person. They just literally use the N-word with a hard R because they're angry at someone and they scream it at them.
I don't care. And I'll be super honest. I like do that when I'm playing video games.
And I'm gonna be real with y'all, girl. Many people in the trans community feel like she platforms transphobia by giving people ideas that harm trans rights. Even though Blaire White identifies herself as a trans woman, but, you know, still calls herself a goddamn man, she still says that she sees herself as a man.
So I was at dinner with a friend the other day, and they were telling me that they listened to like a statement that you said where you described, I guess, like transgender women as still a category of man. Mm-hmm. So like when I look at you, or even like, you know, Gigi Gorgeous, Nikita Dragon, like there's nothing that's giving man. Why do you think that a trans woman fits into the male category?
Well, because they are male, you know, like I have a dick. So it's like, I mean, it doesn't have to mean that I embody all the characteristics of a man, because there are men who identify as men who do not embody all the characteristics of a man, or what we would think, you know.
Things don't end here because, you know, like I keep saying, her life is just a living controversy. But like, you know, recently her fiance, you know, well, her ex-fiance allegedly got caught cheating on camera. Ding, ding, dong.
Calling the police.
And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I can't show you the video. I'm not gonna sit over and push, oh, go find the video, girl. I don't got time to get sued by Miss Blaire White herself, girl. I got my bills to get paid. But like, no tea, no shade, girl. Let's just say, girl, that man is a chaser. Allegedly. Allegedly. And I'm not gonna lie, it's clips like this where it just shows you that, like, that's not what love looks like.
As I was talking to my ex-girlfriend, Blaire walks out and sees me talking to my ex-girlfriend. Dude, she came up to me. I'm a victim.
Wanna know what?
She was really mad.
Because you were an asshole.
What did I do?
You know what you said.
After talking to my coworkers, I don't know if I coherently explained this, but I was in the wrong about what happened the other week in the club. I should not have talked to her.
Him.
And her.
Him.
All right, we're cutting this.
It wasn't a man. So.
It wasn't a man.
It was a 6 foot tall, green-haired man.
All right, I'm
Things
ending.
got really, really ugly between you and I couldn't see myself continuing. And it's so sad because I love you so much and we're, again, such in a good place now, but I couldn't see us continuing being engaged. Like, I couldn't see us working towards marriage, which inevitably means kids for me. You know, if this was a problem that I felt like you weren't recognizing, because each time after these drunken outbursts, you know,
I kind of brushed it off. I'm like, oh God, I got so drunk.
Because,
like I'm over it, while you're like, holy shit, this guy's crazy.
Because also, I don't feel like you remember it to the extent that I do either. Because I never get as drunk as you. So
certain moments I feel like
She doesn't.
And when you see someone in a light that is ugly, and when you see someone in a light that is toxic like that, it's hard to unsee it.
Just like a drunk, gross mess.
It's
awful.
It's just really
I'm
bad.
sorry.
Basically, because of that, I called off the engagement. We started going to therapy, and we said, and there was a point where we really didn't know if we were gonna get engaged again. Like
Blaire goes through my phone and unfollows trans chicks.
not unfollow because you don't follow them.
Okay.
No, what happens is a lot of the trans girls are very messy, so they know that you're taken, obviously, and they know that we're together, but they like to DM you. So if I'm on your phone, I just happen to see a DM from some busted ass trans girl here in LA, I'm probably just gonna delete the DM.
Yeah, she goes through my phone and blocks trans people that don't follow her but follow me.
Oh, they love doing that. Oh my god.
So make
Keep
sure
in
to
mind-
follow her and me if you're trying to get
Police! Help! I love y'all. Yeah, this video is gonna make me lose a lot of subscribers. Oops, oops, I did it again. I'm canceled again. But yeah, I love you guys. Stream Nicki Minaj. I gotta go, girl. Bada bing, bada boom. But yeah, I gotta go, girl. I gotta go make another video. So yeah, that video, the next one, oh yeah, that's gonna be tea. But I love y'all. Stream Nicki Minaj. I gotta go. Bye, loves.